We are recording.
What's going on, everybody? It is January 11th, 2026. This is the For the Crew podcast. My name is Brian. We got Gabe and we got Matt tonight. I'm going to be talking through a few talking points. It's still off season, not a whole lot to talk about, but some very exciting news. A little bit of movement within the crew organization. We're going to be talking about some coaching additions. We're going to be talking about some player additions and a few other things. So before we get into all that, Matt and Gabe, how are you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Me and my wife both had Saturday off for the first time in a while, not including
Nice.
holidays. So that was nice. Got a whole
Yeah.
weekend.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm doing good too. I am currently packing and leaving for a trip to the United Kingdom tomorrow. Um,
Nice.
and
Oh,
hopefully
the
I got
old
myself a
country.
ticket. I got myself a great ticket out to my first ever Champions League game, hopefully. Tottenham
Nice.
Hotspur versus Dortmund. I am ready to
Oh,
watch Tottenham lose, but it will be fun.
That's gonna be sweet. Wait, so
yeah.
are you where you said you're going to the UK? Are you going to England?
Yep, just England.
Just England? Like in London or where?
I got a buddy who studies up in York, so I'll be staying
Okay.
with him up there for a bit, and then I will be traveling down to London for my last 3 days.
That's awesome. I did very much well, that's not really a reference, but I like to say weekend at Bernie's. In London. I spent a weekend in London when I was living in Ireland, so I had a good time. I did not understand the underground system. So instead of taking that, I had a friend there that I was going to meet and hang out the weekend with, and she's like, "Well, just hop on the tube, and like, you can meet me there." And like, I couldn't get it figured out, so I just took a map and I walked probably like 3 miles, um, just using like waypoints on the map of where the stations were at. It was really weird, but it was good.
Solid.
Yeah, Homer stuff. I'm doing good too. Real quick, gonna be having a baby here this next month, our third, so that's exciting.
Woo!
Solid.
I'm wearing all my Buffalo Bills gear today because the Bills won. That was huge. Um, but yeah, excited to talk a little bit of soccer. So let's just skip all the non-crew related stuff that I could talk about with the Bills game, and we'll just
Get
hop
right
right
to it.
into it. So earlier this week, or it wasn't yesterday, right? Was it the day before yesterday? I
With
don't
what?
know. It was earlier this week. Columbus Crew announcing that they added Laurent Courtois to the coaching staff to go along Henrik Rydstrom as the assistant coach. How do you guys feel about that? I think that it's interesting, um, only from the perspective of he did really well under the system that we used to do,
Hmm.
and then you're bringing it in and putting him under somebody who plays a completely different style and different system. So I'm wondering how that is going to work. I don't know.
Yeah. I like it for the. Okay, so originally when we were talking about potential head coaches, his name came up, and I was not feeling it at all. Um, I I I thought we needed to try something new. He didn't do well in Montreal, which that might not be all just on him. But as an assistant, I like it a whole lot more. He did really well with Crew 2 when he was there.
Really with Crew 2.
Yeah, he did really well with
Yeah,
Crew
really
2.
well.
And so he knows a lot of those players, and a lot of those guys
Yeah,
are coming up right now.
Yeah.
And he knows the organization. He's been here. He had been here for years before, and so I think it's a good kind of bridge between Crew 2 and the first team. Bring a guy who knows the organization to back up the head coach. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see him, especially when he was at Crew 2 for a while, and even though he was only gone for a year, the whole Crew 2 organization didn't change much. And immediately after he comes back, we start seeing, we're gonna talk about them a lot today, of a bunch of new signings to the first team from Crew 2.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like he definitely probably had some say into that as well.
yeah, um, yeah. I'm excited about, like I said, yeah, having that opportunity to probably know some of these players that we're calling up. And we'll get into those in a second too, because one or two of them are pretty exciting. Um, it's yeah, it's interesting because again, he had a lot of success with Crew 2, but then when he went out on his own, he didn't. But I like to
Hmm.
see him be um, like the pupil underneath of Rydstrom, and maybe he can learn a little bit more to make him a little bit more successful. But somebody who is familiar with the organization, familiar with what our goals are and what we're trying to do. It's a yeah, I agree with Matt. Like it's a good signing. Um, yeah, I guess a
Yeah,
signing appointment. It's not even really a signing; it's an appointment.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
so
I'm
uh,
interested. I do find it a little interesting of him going from a second team coach to a first team coach to an assistant coach. It's a weird step back, but it's also in a unique direction. I feel, because he
Hmm.
yeah,
was he was a head coach of MLS last season. We now have two head coaches kind of on our coaching staff, which is just kind of a very interesting
it's
situation.
like a weird player development. That's not player development; it's coaching development.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it feels like. But it's almost like um,
I'm not complaining
I
about it
think of it
though.
in terms of like Premiership and Championship, where it's like, oh, you got somebody who is at the Premier League, and then they didn't really do very well, so they went down to a Championship team and they tore up a Championship team. But it's like not the same thing at all. I don't know. I don't even really know what I'm talking about, but that's how I look at it. Just up and down, we're back. I don't know.
I
It's
would rather
terrible.
be an assistant for the Columbus Crew than the head coach at Montreal. I'll say
That's
that.
true.
I would rather
That's
not
true.
be working under Joey Saputo if I
That's true.
had the option.
Currently, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But coming with that, so we also got a little bit of movement this week. Um, let's start with first. We have like a midfield signing too. We'll get to that. But let's talk about some of the academy players. Some of the Crew 2 player guys that we called up.
Hmm.
Chase Adams being one of them. I'm excited to see him get an opportunity. Um, but with that being said, does that mean is Jason Russell Rowe on the way out then? Because that feels like he would be a replace. You're not going to bring up another attacking player like that. I feel like he's a striker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean that Jason Russell Rowe's on the way out, or
That's a
I think
good
anticipated to be on the way out?
Yeah.
this could also be that same situation though, where we sign them up to the first team so they're able to play in our multiple tournaments. Because as of now, Crew is
That's true.
confirmed for Open Cup, Leagues Cup, and regular season.
Yeah.
Um, and we did this last season where we signed a bunch of Crew 2 players to the first team just so they can be like that extra men when especially in the early season when we were doing CONCACAF Champions Cup. We were kind of rotating a whole bunch, and we're using these Crew 2 players that, for the most part, they're sticking to the Crew 2. They're not playing much for the first team as
Hmm.
getting like, full 90 minutes or anything. So I kind of expect that from Chase Adams, especially because he is still incredibly young.
He's what, 17?
Um, 17 still,
Yeah.
yeah. Which, of course, that doesn't mean that he's like exempt from the first team because look at Philadelphia with Kavan Sullivan.
Hmm.
But I think it's just more of a a way to give the players their first contract and also give us a way to use them on the first team when needed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he still gets a lot of Crew 2 games next year.
Yeah.
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 Speaking of
But
Crew 2, are
yeah,
we sticking with the same Crew 2 coaching staff? I haven't looked much into
I
that.
haven't heard any different,
I
so I
haven't
would be.
heard anything.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're going to give Federico a little bit longer since he's such a club legend.
Hmm.
I think they would have a really hard time. I think they would feel guilty for doing it
Yeah,
right
of
now.
course the
And
results don't really matter too much in the Crew 2 side.
exactly,
You're more focused
exactly.
on the player development side,
Yes.
but we did get bottom of the East, which is
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah.
not
And I
ideal.
will
Not
say
good.
though, I don't know if the organization is looking at Crew 2 for results as much as they're looking for individual growth in terms of the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just
Um,
got very lucky getting results pretty early on
yeah,
in
yeah,
the first few years.
Well,
yeah.
hey, if it doesn't work out for him, I hear that Wilford Nancy is looking for a job. Maybe he can come back and coach Crew
Come
2.
back as a Crew
Okay,
2
that'd be
coach.
so funny to have Courtois on the first team and doing management there, and then have
Hey
Nancy
man,
on the second
from
team.
his time over there at Celtic, it sounds like he was more interested in player development really than about anything else than winning games. So maybe it'll fit him perfectly with that kind of mindset. But we're not going to talk about that because that doesn't matter right now. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So
Chase
go
Adams
ahead.
is interesting though because he he is probably what top 3 or 4 prospect in the United States for
Yeah,
strikers.
yeah,
Um,
he's good.
yeah,
It's really
he. I mean, I don't really like the nickname, but he's been given the nickname Baby Holland, and
For one game.
for
Because
one
of one
game,
game.
he scored 10 goals in one game for the United States, and the USA won that game like 22-0.
Yeah, but we also played a team that is like a
The-
small island team that nobody has heard
yeah,
of,
it's not. It was not.
No, it's a
A
high school team versus the Yankees. It's not a
essentially.
competition.
yeah,
I get that. I know that
yeah.
everybody's making such a big deal out of that, but I'm like, yo, we're playing like,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
and he's
nobody.
played into it too. With he keeps doing Holland's little like Zen celebration when he scores goals.
Hey, I love it. I love a kid with an ego, though.
No, I mean you're gonna keep scoring goals. Celebrate however you want.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with him. Um, Owen Prestis is one that I'm really interested about too because he, I think he's been on track for a while to be a first team player. I think 3 or 4 years ago, people knew he was going to be on the first team eventually,
Yeah.
and um, I really like the idea of having a player who has like a legacy because his dad played for the Crew, and I don't know if we had anyone like that yet who came through um, with their dad playing before them on our team. I might be missing someone, but I don't think it's
What'd
happened.
you say?
Having a player whose dad played for our team before.
Robert and Conrad Warzia.
I don't count Warzia. Warzia was a nepotism role.
Yeah, but it's a father son
It's
combo.
true.
That's
It's
the
true.
only
You're
other
you're
one.
right. You're right. That is true. Warzia. I choose to forget that. But yeah. Um. But it's cool to see a person he grew up in the Crew organization. He's been here since I think
Watched his dad win
2017.
the Open Cup in '02 as well.
Yeah.
He's part of that
Yep.
team in '02.
Yeah. But yeah. So he. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bit more minutes. I think him and Quentin Elliott probably have the biggest chance of getting minutes this year.
Yeah,
Just because I think they're ready more than a Pruder or uh, Adams or even
yeah.
Zenge was all of
Well,
them.
especially Elliott being on the back line, like that's
Yeah,
something where we definitely need a lot of depth. So
Yeah,
that will
yeah.
be
yeah,
super super helpful.
yeah. But Owen Prestis, he got that cameo when we played Aston Villa. I think he only played like 10, 15 minutes, but I
Yeah,
think that kind of uh, showed that we believe that he can play, and I'm interested to see how he does. I think he could be on this team for a while.
yep.
Yeah. I have actually a question for both of you guys.
Hmm.
One thing I didn't really look too much into is how much Hendrik Reinstrom used youth players
Oh yeah.
this time. Do you have any
Mm.
info on that, Matt?
I do know that he has had a history of using youth players. Um,
Specifically from the organization, or does he more
that I do
focus
not
on
know. I
drawing
I
out young players from around?
I think it's just he's not against the whole idea of playing the kids. I don't
Gotcha.
think it's necessarily just academy kids, but just I don't think youth is a negative thing to him.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I mean, even with that, I think this isn't people we signed this week, but like even a Tristan Brown, we said it last episode, but I think he might get more minutes this year.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, with the signings, so we talked Adams, we talked Prestis. We touched on Elliott, but I'm interested in seeing how those draft guys do.
Mhm.
Um, with
Remember any of those? I'm not gonna lie, I
Zenge,
didn't do my homework on that.
Zenge and Pruder. Pruder's the goalkeeper, which
Okay.
I
Pruder
thought.
is a
Yeah,
joke
go
of a
ahead.
signing in the end of the day. I mean,
Well, and the thing is,
he's
that's the thing. It has nothing to do with his talent. He
no,
might be a
but we're
fine
still not going to
goalkeeper.
play him.
Yeah, but we have five first team contracted goalkeepers,
It's
and
yeah, it's just a ridiculous amount.
I thought we got away from that with when we let Romero go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm interested to see. I feel like we must be looking for one of the keepers to go out though in this process.
They have to.
With Bruder coming in, one of them has to be going maybe on a loan for Lapkes or something.
Hmm.
Um, or like we actually finally realize that having Hagen and Schulte is just kind of not working
I
and
still
get
don't
rid of them.
understand Hagen. I
Yeah.
man, I don't understand that. he
It's so
yeah.
confusing because you feel like, the times we don't have Schulte is
Hmm.
usually when he's been injured, which was just an unlucky year last year, or when he's off on international duty. But the issue is Hagen is also on international duty
Yep.
every single
Yeah.
time, and so it just doesn't make sense to have him on a roster. Um, I don't think he does a bad job when he's in goal. He's a pretty average goalkeeper
Yeah.
for MLS, but it's not needed to have him, Bush, and Schulte on the same roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last guy was Zach. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I don't know if it was Zenge or Zengwe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Um, but I I've tried a lot to find information on him, and what he did was he got drafted by us in 2024, but he finished up school instead of getting signed to Crew Two.
I have a thing.
Yeah,
Or no. Who's the other one?
Zach Zenge.
Oh no, sorry. That was one of the that was one of the other three. That was Elliot. So Elliot,
Oh yeah, Elliot.
the guy that we signed, he left to go back and play collegiately and then
Yeah,
came back.
yeah, he played
Sorry,
with Crew
that's what
Two
I thought.
last year.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
probably something similar like that.
yeah, but he played with Vermont Green in the college off season, which is a USL2, it's a semi-pro team, and he was a beast for them. Um, and watching the highlights, he looks like he has a good aggression. He uh can play both sides of the ball. He has a good shot on him. So I'm interested to see how quickly he can get integrated in. I can't even say the word. He can get into the team.
Introduce
Yeah,
introduce
introduced to the
into
team.
the team.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
integrated is the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I think I don't see us signing him directly to a first team contract instead of to Crew Two if we
Yeah.
don't see the potential in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
But then apparently we see potential signing midfielder. I don't even know how to say his first name. Sekou
Yeah,
Bangora.
Bangura.
Bangora sounds like that's his last name
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
Israeli Premier League.
yeah.
Don't really know much about him. Truth be
Matt and
told.
I talked a bit about him last week on our previous episode.
Hmm.
Um, that back then it was just a rumor. Right before we confirmed it, we confirmed it
Yeah.
the day after we recorded it.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
we we know our stuff.
Yeah, we somehow knew our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those
Um,
things Matt was like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about these things tonight. Make sure you know." And I'm like, "I don't know any of these really that well. Our Crew Academy players, sure, but this guy was the one that I was like, I'm not really
Yeah.
100% sure about." So
yeah, it's been an interesting signing window for us so far since we haven't really made any big signings yet.
He's been
No
very
moves from
young.
around
hey
MLS.
man, James Rodriguez is coming.
I hope not. I hope not.
I hope
Yeah.
not too. I
No,
don't think
yeah,
so.
he's
If it would have happened, it happened already. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, when you take the five guys we signed this week, and then you take Bangura and you take the two guys that we drafted, the oldest player we've signed is 24 years old. And and so like it's all potential. There's not a whole lot of guys who seem like they're ready to step into the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Which is
I'm
interesting because I feel like we're pretty good in depth already as a team. I feel like
yeah,
the building on the depth side isn't really too necessary. And we should focus now on finding maybe people to start putting into the missing spots in the starting 11 or on that bench reserve ready to play 30 minutes or be the starter when someone's out injured. But
yeah. I still
we
think
haven't focused on that.
well the issue too is if the roster that I saw is correct, we're at 30 players, and that's the max we can have. So
Wow.
we're gonna have to either loan out players, trade them, or transfer them.
Which
And
I do agree that we need to do some more outs.
yeah,
Daniel Gosdog. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
he's like, wow, I don't know what
Who knows?
happened.
Who knows, man? Who knows? He might actually play well under a different system. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe this new system's for him,
But
but we should be looking for outs either way because that's just good club management is having ins,
yes,
having outs. And
hmm
right now we're that team that's just had ins and are trying to keep every single player.
yeah,
Well, we did get rid of some ones, but like No, nobody for money. We just kind of like let
Well,
players
I
have
can
them.
assure you that I don't think Steven Moreira is going anywhere now that Wilfred Nancy's gone, which is probably a
Yeah,
good
Yeah,
I
thing
agree with
because he went to that
that.
game and said, "Yeah, nah, I don't want to be a part of this."
yeah.
Um,
Doesn't help too that they
hopefully,
just got a right back on loan as
yeah.
well.
I mean, he could still go, I suppose, but I doubt
Yeah,
it
I
very
doubt it.
sincerely.
Um, but yeah, with that, we have to have outgoings before we can bring more people in.
Mhm. Do you
Or
think we're going to
technically,
loan
we
out
could
some
bring
of the
more
same?
people in. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think we're going to loan out some of the players like we did last season, like Cole Maraca?
Yeah, at this point, I feel like we either
Yes,
need to let Morocco go or try to play him with us. He's gone on loan twice already now. Um, he's not
It's
building
Yeah, I
chemistry with
don't
our
like it when
guys.
teams do this where they just hold a player on but not actually play them.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you have a purpose for him, bring him to the first team. If not, let him go find minutes elsewhere.
yeah. Well, and we definitely need to loan out a goalkeeper. That will open up one spot. Um,
we could probably loan out two at this point. We have
I mean,
five, right?
honestly, yeah.
Loan or sell. I'm more on the leaning side of let's sell a keeper, get some money,
Sell
and
Nico Hagen, and that's what we should do. I think. Have Bush be
but
the
don't
backup.
never ever sell Bush. That's like the only one I'm like, do not
We
sell.
need
No,
He's
but
space
a
for
treasure
more.
to our
If
city.
we're gonna get
He
rid
wouldn't
of all
matter.
of our goalkeepers, we need to get rid of them so we can have more space for more midfielders
we
because
need
that is what Eastertall wants.
We need more midfielders.
just all the midfielders.
Okay, so
Yeah,
real quick too, with signing our new midfielder guy, whatever his name was, is that
Bindover.
a
Yeah,
depth piece or is he a starter?
I think he is that.
Opposite, I would assume Sean Zawatsky.
I think he's that tweener. I think honestly, if Zawadzki goes back in the midfield, he's the backup for Zawadzki.
Okay.
Um,
But if we're keeping Zwatsky in the back line, then I can see him kind of being that like, yeah, just in between a starter and a
keep a
bench player of
rotation
like
guy. Yeah,
especially when Renstrom's going to be like testing out what works, what doesn't
Yeah.
work. He could be a
See,
starter right off the bat, playing that center defensive
I think what I
midfielder.
remember though of looking at his stats is like I think that he's a quality starter for the most parts. That's why I was interested to get your guys' thoughts on that because I think that he will be more of a hey, we're gonna sign him, we're gonna use him, he's gonna be part of the starting lineup pretty consistently. I'm
yeah.
not saying that he's gonna be a well, he wouldn't be a replacement for Nagby because
Yeah,
No,
I
he.
I
don't
don't
think
think.
that we really have
Yeah,
that still. I would assume that if they do that, that's gonna be Zawatsky.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
from what
going to
I.
get minutes. He's not
Yeah,
going
go
to be Derek Jones though. He's not going to only sit
ahead.
on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of like game tape from him, but like in terms of the the
I was just
profile
looking
and
at
the
FotMob
stats,
stats and stuff.
yeah,
Mhm, yeah,
Seems
he
like he's
more
pretty
feels like an Aiden Morris type than a Nagby type.
yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking too.
yeah, he intercepts balls, puts in tackles, um, does well in his duels. Like he's that kind of player. I don't
yeah.
think I don't think you expect him to be the guy who keeps hold of the ball and is really good at rotating it, and I don't think that's him. I think he's
Yeah.
more of the destroyer type kind of guy, even though he's small. Um, which is also a weird dynamic. We still have that issue where we don't have big players,
It's just
and
always the curse of the crew. This has been the way since I've started watching the team. We will never have
yeah,
big players.
yeah, it's
Until,
it's.
until James Rodriguez.
Oh, we're talking about actual size, but yeah, I mean like,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were like big players. I was like, oh, okay.
No,
I
but
no,
was
like
like,
also
the,
that,
yeah,
but
I don't know.
also we don't really sign big players. Um,
the biggest player we had in the last few years was Derek Jones, and he saw like 12 minutes on the field last season. We
yeah,
don't go for size ever.
yeah, size is not the crew way.
Dude, he
Um,
literally looked like he was 10 feet tall when he played. I still cannot get
I
over that.
still like
He
I
he
still have
looked
in my
like
mind
he
the
looked like
time.
Goliath out a bunch playing with
Yeah,
a bunch of minions out on the field.
I
It's
still have it in my
insanity.
head when he came on from Matan, and I was like, this guy's a
Oh, yeah.
giant.
It's like, dude,
And
why don't you go play like linebacker in the NFL or something, man?
yeah, yeah,
Go be like a free safety, dude. Do
yeah.
something, man. You got some speed, you got some build, man.
But yeah, he's gonna be an interesting player. I
Yeah.
do think he'll definitely get a good chunk of minutes. I'm just not sure where that will be yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Convert him to a center back and start playing him there like we do with all center defensive mids.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly. Have him be like a little Sandro Martinez, a little short center back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the five guys. I'm interested to see who kind of steps up. My guess,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, is it's gonna be Prestis and Elliott, who the big
Okay,
guys.
so to follow up real quick too, because we had this question in the Discord, um, is Rydstrom here yet? Is he working on his visa stuff still? Do we know anything about that? Since doesn't
Okay,
training
so
start what, like next week or
training
week after
actually
that?
started today and yesterday were
Okay.
the days where the players had to report back for their physicals
Hmm.
and their medical stuff. So January 10th and January 11th, players reported back to Columbus. Training starts tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And I think we start in Columbus for a few days. Then we're going to go to Florida,
Yep.
do a week in Florida, come back to Columbus, do a week in Columbus, and then go back to Florida for 2 weeks.
Yes, because that makes
Why would you
sense.
want to come? Yeah, why would you want to come back?
I
Yeah.
That
wish
doesn't
it
make
made
sense.
sense. Look it up. I have this down, but it is goofy.
Hmm. No, but yeah, I haven't heard about, but I did hear he was having what visa issues, right? And
Yeah.
or you
Seems
just
like a
didn't
common
have it yet.
denominator.
Let
Yeah.
me check the posts right now because he might be here because crew was posting all the players reporting back. But
Gotcha.
they might have posted Gaffer also reporting.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking
good.
of that, we've been in contact with a Nordic podcast um about possibly getting them on here. Still trying to figure that out, but he did send me some uh info on Rydstrom. One of the big things with that really stuck out to me was that he very different than Nancy. He's very flexible in terms of the formation he plays. He was
Yeah,
saying he'll play a 4-4-2 sometimes. He'll play a 4-5-1. He'll play a 4-3-3. He'll play a 3-4-3, just depending on the game. Um, which is very different because I think probably every game, maybe we played a couple games with a back four with Nancy, but the vast majority was 3-4-3.
I don't remember any game
Yeah,
ever
exactly.
playing any other
Like
formation.
it is very strict with this is how we play. And so it'd
Yeah,
be interesting to see because it's going to be hard now if that is the case predicting lineups both for
yeah,
fans and for the opposing team to be able to predict how we're going to set up.
yeah,
And so that will be something to look out for.
yeah.
Yeah. Gabe, you find anything?
No, it's actually funny. I can't even find the thing earlier that I had of the players even walking into the stadium. I know
Oh,
I saw it earlier today,
you're
but
like I
I did
did
not know.
not hallucinate this.
Yeah, no, it might be, might have, but and I'm pretty sure the players were on grounds, and crew did say training does start tomorrow. So, um, when by the time this episode is up, everyone go check your Columbus Crew Instagram, check their Twitter. They might
Hmm.
be posting a picture of the coach, and from there we can know if he's there or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
All right.
coaches, what
Yeah,
did
coaches. I was gonna say we can move
yeah.
on to a couple new appointments just around the league for 2026. Do you just want to go through the list and talk about one or like just a couple of them?
Yeah, well, I'll list off. There's 8 right now. I'll
Well,
list off.
I have it pulled up here too.
Yeah, if you want to
It
list them,
doesn't
go ahead.
matter. So Tata Martino, coming to Atlanta again, right?
To Atlanta.
Yep,
Yep.
second time in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yep.
second time. Matt Wells, we'll talk about him a little bit. Previous assistant to Tottenham. Henrik Rydstrom, Mark Dos Santos, was previously the LAFC assistant coach.
Hmm.
We have Marco Mitrovic, um, following up Caleb Porter at New England. Uh, Michael Bradley, everybody's favorite man to boo in the Nordic.
Boo.
Coaching New York Red Bulls of all team, which is
Hmm.
interesting. Raphael Wicki going to Sporting Kansas City to replace the legendary Peter Vermees, previously with BSC Young Boys, and then Johan Dammit, our previous assistant coach at Columbus Crew,
Hmm.
who was a candidate and was a name that was brought up as a potential replacement for Wilfred Nancy, going
Yeah.
to, uh, oh my goodness, St. Louis City.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Sorry.
start with him actually in this
Yeah,
conversation because
let's
I
start
do
with that
find it
one.
interesting that our assistant coach became a head coach of another team when we didn't have a coach as well.
Yeah,
I think that's an interesting point to talk about.
yeah. He interviewed here, as far as I know,
Yeah,
and we knew about him because he's been here under Nancy, and yeah, I when Nancy first left, I thought he was the leading candidate. I expected him to become the next head coach, and
I did not. I was the
no,
opposite of that.
yeah, but
And I think it's because we started to realize that we were stalling a little bit
hmm
um, there towards the end with Nancy, and I think that they just didn't want to keep in the same. I mean, he would have brought different ideas. He'd have brought some changes to the system, sure. But I think that it was just they looked at it as like we just want something completely fresh in here, completely new face,
mhm.
which is probably why they didn't go with him, truthfully.
yeah,
And that just led him to taking an opportunity elsewhere. So
yeah. I think it also helps that the sporting director at St. Louis is Corey Ray, who used to be
Yeah,
the Crew Two general manager.
yeah, that's true.
Um,
yeah. I'm not sure how much of
yeah,
a great coaching role that is to be into though, because St. Louis had a pretty horrendous season last year.
hmm
Not like awful, but not great either. And they showed a lot of promise their first year, but that's also just being a new MLS team. And since then, we really haven't seen any shining hope that they want to become a top Western team.
St.
Yeah,
Louis has had a different head coach every year, right?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
wild.
gotta be rough. That's rough, man. Because
Yeah,
there's
As I
no
say,
identity.
especially a new
There's no
situation.
identity there.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't let a coach stay, there's no identity. Like I don't know. I don't know why they keep doing that. That's
I think
weird.
any MLS fan too can say that it's just like not really a very noticeable team yet in the league. They
hmm
came as an expansion team, had a good first year, but not good enough
Yeah.
to like win Supporter Shield or anything. Got knocked out of playoffs early, and
Yep.
since then you've just heard nothing from them. All
Yeah.
competitions they've been pretty invisible.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, I will say I looked a little bit. We're not gonna talk about this because I don't know much, but Raphael Wiki. I'm actually or not Wiki. Licky. Is that an L or an I? I
It's
can't
wiki.
tell.
It's wiki.
I,
Yeah.
it's like an uppercase I. I don't know why I did that. Um, I did see a little bit on him. He was actually pretty good at BSC Young Boys, from my understanding. So I think it will be interesting to see if he can pull Sporting Kansas City back around from the kind of lull that I think that they really had,
hmm
because they were had been pretty good there for a while and then sort of dropped off over the last 5 6 years, I think.
I
And
will
this
say,
is their first head coach change in 13 years, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna be
Vermees
wild for them
was
too.
Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that they got a pretty decent coach under him from what I was reading. So I'll be interested to see. But let's just move on from that. Let's
Well,
talk about the
let me
one that
say
we.
something real quick about Wiki.
Yeah,
This isn't his first time in MLS. Before he went to Young Boys, he was at Chicago, and he was awful at Chicago. I think his win percentage was like a 23%. Um,
Yeah, but that's also Chicago, and
yeah, I mean that's
yeah.
also fair, but it's just it's just something I think should be mentioned is like he
That
lost.
that sounds like what was it the other day? I saw the win percentages for the coach that they just hired at Chelsea.
Oh
oh,
yeah, Rossinier.
Lee,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
good. But like I said, you can coach one team and have that team be terrible, and then go play or go coach at another team and have that team be very
That's fair. I
successful.
mean, like even I guess that's Ronnie Dalla. He won MLS Cup with New York and then just took Atlanta to one of the worst finishes they've ever had.
Or
And
Wilfred
so
Nancy coming in your first year and winning all these trophies, and then going to Celtic and not lasting more than or how many games did he
eight
last? Not even
games,
15 games.
8 or 9
8 games.
8 games.
games. Yeah,
8 games.
yeah, yeah.
Like it doesn't.
It
Yeah, stuff
it yeah it
changes.
does it yeah it is all about getting in the right situation. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's move on from that. Let's talk about the man we all like to boo, Michael Bradley, coaching New York Red Bulls, previously at Red Bull 2.
hmm
Um, is that
and
a
he was
good
great at Red
move?
Bull too. Is the thing.
What's that?
Um, Red Bull 2 won the league this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's
So
gonna that it's a good appointment though? I mean, he's a great
I mean,
American player.
He's a
and
great
like
American
a
player. His
legendary.
dad was a great American coach. I see no
Yeah,
reason for him to be a bad coach.
yeah,
I've not
Yeah,
watched a lot of New York Red Bulls too, but if I was a New York fan, I'd be pretty happy with that as an appointment.
yeah. As
yeah,
much as I dislike Michael Bradley,
Yeah,
um, I'm expecting him to be a good head coach in his career. Even
yeah,
as a player, I was like, this guy's going to end up coaching. He has the personality
yeah,
for it, um, and he had the even playing the game. He was a smart player, and
yeah,
and his dad before when they were still the Metro Stars, he coached in New York as well.
yeah.
And so this is
And
very
yeah,
much
Bob Bradley was good there.
yeah. Bob
yeah.
Bradley, yeah, he was an excellent coach. So I mean, like I said, I'm not expecting him to fail there. I hope he
No,
does because I
you
screw
hate Red
Michael
Bulls.
Bradley.
Yeah,
I don't even hate
that's
the
true.
Red Bulls. I just hate Bradley.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Um,
true.
but yeah, so
I think it's probably one of the better appointments though
Yeah,
of the 8 coaches that they've
mhm.
had. And then let's talk. We'll do. I know which one we'll do last, but let's just talk. Tata Martino coming back. Do you think that he's going to have as successful of a run the second time in Atlanta as he did the first time?
I don't know as successful of a run, but he does have players that are supposedly good. They
Yeah,
did horrendous last year.
Yeah,
But Tata, when he's given chances, he does good. We've seen him
yeah,
for years
yeah,
now. Miami was a bit of a unique situation because he was like the team wasn't trying to build around him or his style at all. They had their own thing going on, and he was just there to kind of
the
like,
head coach is a figurehead in Miami.
yeah,
yeah.
it's a joke of a
That's
role.
Like,
true.
yeah,
I don't rate Mascherano, and I still will never rate him. Even he can have four MLS Cups, and I still will not rate him.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think we've seen Tata have success almost everywhere he's gone, other than
hmm
Miami. I think this will be a good appointment for Atlanta. I do think some of their players just kind of got exposed last year, though, and they need to make a lot of changes on their roster, and see what they can do for that, though.
yeah.
yeah. All right, and then last but not least, let's talk Matt Wells. I know nothing about him. Gabe, you do.
Yep.
Take it away.
I can go off on him. So Matt
Yeah, take it away.
Wells, he's coming from Tottenham Hotspur as an assistant coach. But his main thing was he came through the youth development of Tottenham as well as, but never really became a player. And started coaching under Scott Parker, who originally was at Tottenham until he went
Yep.
to then Fulham, then Bournemouth, then a couple other clubs. But on when Ange got appointed to Tottenham, he went back to Tottenham and became the main assistant coach to Ange. So he was Ange's second-hand man. And then after Ange got fired and Thomas Frank got appointed, he very shortly got deranked from the senior assistant down to just a normal assistant. And I think that's when he started looking for an out, and the option of Colorado came up. So, with that, I'm really excited to see how Colorado plays because I'm hoping that Ange Ball gets brought into MLS one way or another. Um, for anyone who has never watched a Tottenham game under Ange, when it works, it is probably the most entertaining style of soccer you can play. It is
Yeah,
attacking, it is fun, it is just constant energy. But when it fails, it's awful. You're getting scored on, you can't get possession. Um, so I'm interested to see how that translates into a league like MLS, since it's not the Ange has usually been at top teams when he's implemented his style.
hmm
Um, so I'm interested to see if he goes for that approach or if he goes for more of a Scott Parker Burnley style right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, it's always interesting seeing coaches who have never been MLS come in and see how they do. It's
Yeah,
usually it's usually incredibly good or they completely sink.
I
And
think he's still the guy to look out for though on the
yeah,
of the new coaches. He's the one that's the most interesting of one that's never even coached a team before and getting a first team appointment
yeah.
um, in MLS.
I was gonna
Yeah.
mention that with Mitrovic in New England. He his last three roles I think were all youth national team for the United States. I think he coached the U19s, the U23s, U20s.
Yeah, so this is
And
quite a big appointment for him.
yeah. And so he's one of those guys who knows the US system, but he's never been a head coach for a club team.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the same thing with the guy who what could have happened with Dame, but didn't happen with him, where the assistant coach becomes the head coach. That's what happened in LA with Dos Santos. They just, instead of looking for a new head coach, they just promoted the assistant once Cherundolo left. And so I wouldn't be surprised if LA is a very similar team than as
Yeah.
they have been.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to change much.
Yeah.
One funny little thing on Matt Wells is as well for Colorado Rapids. If
Mhm.
anybody knows, the Rapids owners also own Arsenal over in England. So I just
Oh
want to bring that
yeah.
up as some funny little banter of they signed a old Tottenham coach to one of their other teams. I mean, they
Oh, that's
probably don't care
interesting.
too much about the rivalry as
Well,
others would, but
they probably need to do that to get that Colorado team going because there's always speculation about them and whether or not they're going to continue being a team in Colorado or not. Like
yeah, yeah.
literally every year.
Colorado, it's so weird for that ownership group because they care a lot about almost every single team they own.
Yeah.
Because
Except
what
for
they
the
own the
Rapids.
They
um,
didn't for Arsenal for a while. I would argue against that, but now
yeah,
I
but
think that they are.
they have the Rams, they have the Nuggets, and they have Arsenal, and all three of those teams they put a lot into, and
Yeah.
then they have the Rapids as well, and there's like nothing into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of what you said, Brian, about speculation about Colorado even having a team there, uh, before last season started, Vancouver had the same kind of thing going, where there was a lot of talk about them possibly relocating.
Yeah,
And then they did
Um,
good.
yeah,
that's
and
the dumbest
yeah.
thing I've ever heard.
Well, I think
Even
recently,
even the speculation and the threat of it. It's
yeah,
like they are consistently a pretty decent team and a good city with good rivalries that are close,
and a
not
good fan
local, but
base,
they're
honestly.
close.
Yeah,
Great fan base and like I'm getting sick and tired uh of the threatening game of moving teams because we don't get what we want, crybaby crap
yeah,
from ownership groups and all that stuff. And I understand like um you need a world class stadium to play in, but this is the way that sports are now. I'm gonna step up on my soapbox for a little bit. Um, I've heard plenty of conversations about this. It's stupid the
yeah,
amount of money that we put into these facilities and then it's like here's what it is, give us what we want or else we're going to move. And like it's frustrating and it's crushing his fan bases because we've been there before too, you
yep,
know. And I hate it. I think that it destroys the professional sports world. I think that there are markets, especially in this case, where like it has a solid and consistent and loyal fan base. It's a great city. It's a big city. There's close rivalries. It doesn't make sense to move them because you can't get what you want. Like
yeah,
I
no,
understand it. I understand that some things need to change, some things need to happen, but let's stop doing that crap. It's so dumb, and I hate it.
hmm
And I just want to say that.
well, and I'll even say, like, especially with the sport of soccer, like soccer is so community driven. Um, you see a lot more like this kind of thing, supporter groups and uh,
Yeah,
fan podcasts and like events created by the fans for the club. Like
yeah.
you see a whole lot of that, and
And it's not just soccer though either. I mean,
no, it's
especially
not.
here in the United States, it's
American
the
sports in
NBA,
general is
it's the
awful.
Yeah,
NBA, it's the NHL. I mean, heck, the Oakland A's. Which did you also see that they tried to get the like copyright branding rights for what is it, Las Vegas? Is that where they moved to? So
yeah,
Las Vegas Athletics and Las Vegas A's, and the patent office denied them both of them.
that's
Or
sweet.
like whatever it is, like the copyright. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Not patent office, they're not patenting that, but whatever it is, they denied them, so they don't get it.
hmm
Um, but yeah, the Rams, like the NFL, it's everything. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Like, just stop moving stuff. If it doesn't work, fold the team and then you can expand them. I understand, but don't rip a team out and move them to another city.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I guess maybe you're already doing that if you just like fold a team and then another team wants to start an expansion somewhere else. But when you
Yeah, if
physically
a
pick
team
a team
folds,
up and
that's
if
another
you
deal for
physically
a team
just
to fold.
move the staff, the roster, all that stuff from one city to another, like Dude,
Yeah.
it's so gut wrenching. It's dumb. And you can ask Cleveland Browns fans
Yep.
because they're a prime example of that. That's the whole reason that we had this issue to begin with. That's where it all started.
Yeah.
Truthfully,
And honestly, we if that didn't happen, we probably wouldn't have a club to talk
at least
about
for
right
this
now.
yeah, at least for this generation, it
Yeah, that's the
started with
greatest
the
thing that
Browns.
The Cleveland Browns have done in the past like 40 years is help Columbus stay in Columbus.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. It's
um,
true.
They've not done anything further
yeah,
than that.
yeah.
True.
With the Vancouver thing, I think what you like you said, where they're like, hey, this is what we want, and we're going to move. I think the city kind of folded to that, because I think they have a new stadium coming now, and
Yeah.
at least a deal for a new stadium. Who knows what that really means?
Yeah.
Which that was a whole
Um,
ordeal in general as well. If you looked into the
yeah,
Vancouver situation of why they wanted to move, is the stadium issue because
yeah,
they'd been sharing a stadium for a while and they were just
Yeah.
not being able to host games at their stadium. I think it was like the playoffs or Leagues Cup last year or something.
Yeah.
They were just they couldn't host in their stadium because there was like other things going on.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
they had to sacrifice home games to the away team.
Yeah. I get that. I get that, but not just for the sake of, hey, build us a new stadium because whatever, or we're leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I hope that if that ever happens again, that something similar to Save the Crew happens. I don't want to like I don't care what club it is. I don't want to see any teams relocating. Like it's
No,
happened.
I hope Save the Crew changed it in MLS that we can go through an era where we
Ooh,
just keep doing
I could think of
expansion
one or
teams, but
two.
never do.
I
Yeah.
could think of one or two.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say it. I could think of one or two.
um, yeah, I think it's only happened one time in MLS history where a team's relocated.
Yeah,
Um,
we've had
it
the
was it was San Jose to Houston.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we also have had a lot of teams go under as well.
that's true.
Yeah.
Um
We've had three, I think,
Mutiny, Chivas,
and then Miami
uh
Fusion.
Oh no,
Miami Fusion,
Chivas
yeah.
didn't go under. That's
That's
LAFC, right?
LAFC.
They went under for
That's
like 4
LAFC,
years.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they took a hiatus for a few years and they came
yeah.
back.
Just
Sorry,
rebranded.
they came
Yeah,
back as a
yeah.
yeah. They rebranded and came back as another team. How it works.
That's it.
Yeah.
I will say that was like the weirdest thing because I came into crew soccer when Chivas was still around, and then it was like, uh, was that 2013 that they? What year
I
did
think it
they
was
cease?
13. I think it was the end of
I think
13
it
they
was
stopped.
13.
I'm
I
looking it
think it
up
was
just in
13,
case.
and so in 2012 was the first year I started following them, and it was like 2013. Then they just like weren't there, and I didn't know what happened. And I was like, "Where's that one team at that we played last year? Like, they're Chivas or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, they're like no longer a thing." But I
Mhm.
had just started following the crew and the league, and I didn't know that they had gone under. And yeah, it was
I found it
interesting.
so
Yeah,
funny of how long it
They
took to get
dissolved in 2014.
yeah.
Oh,
I think it's funny how long it took MLS to get a team to work in Florida. That they tried twice, failed
Yeah.
twice, and then eventually got Orlando working, and then got Miami working.
yeah.
Yep.
I still
Yeah.
think that they try to make a move in Tampa Bay at some point again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
think I
definitely a
think
market there.
I think it's a market that has already proven that it can happen. I think that given the state of where the league is now, I could see that in the long future, long future down the road if one or two teams went under.
Yeah, that's like the question of where we're
Warm
at right now.
climate,
Of,
big city, nice city, warm climate. It's perfect.
do we push for 40 teams now, or do we just wait
Oh
until teams
no.
to go under
Gosh,
now?
no.
Because you still got these markets in
I don't
Tampa.
even like the fact of this stupid um divisions thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it because there's also something too where um who else is doing that? Major League Baseball is talking about going from um
To
like to conferences now as opposed to like the American League and the National League. It's like a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference.
I think
And
it's
then I
hard to
think that
fight against it when the most popular sport in the country is the NFL that follows that rule set and has the
that's true.
playoffs. I think
But
Yeah.
soccer just surpassed baseball for viewership
yeah,
and overall viewership in the United States here like this last year. So and I think that will go up with the World Cup. But I don't know. There's something about it. It's like, dude, it's been that way for its inception, like for the beginning.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
not exactly the beginning, but it's been that way for as long as most people can remember it. And so to like either add a different division in or change things from conferences to divisions to whatever it is. I freaking hate it. I think we have too many teams as it is, but that's just me.
Just brings
And
back the conversation of pro rel, but then people do not want these $30,000 30,000 seater stadiums, um,
in the second
in
division.
second league games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but
But then you see, but my whole thing is you look over in England and stuff, and you see the same thing: 30,000
You
stadiums,
see a stadium of White
absolutely filled to the brim with the
Sunderland.
most
Yeah.
loyal fans you've ever seen.
yeah,
Well,
well,
it has
and
to.
Supporting
and
I
that
think
their
that's the
that is
franchise.
thing.
that's a great point though,
Yeah.
and I think that's where you're going with that, Matt. Is like, do you think that if it wasn't like, hey, they're not playing in the very top tier, do you think that people stop coming to crew games or stop going to whatever game
I
because they're in
I
a
think
secondary
I
thing?
think
I don't
Columbus
I
is
don't
actually probably
necessarily.
one of the worst markets for that in that sense for that of people will stop going to games because Columbus usually has a lot of fans that are focused on winners. Because if there's a crew game going on as like the same day of an OSU game, you look at the stadium and the stadium's half
That's
empty.
true.
People don't go to crew games if there's like an
That's
OSU
true.
game. They'd
We're
rather support
spoiled.
the
We're
winner.
spoiled with the Ohio State Buckeyes and winning stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
will
I think
say.
sadly Columbus is one of
Except
the
for this
markets that
year.
struggles with that.
I
Yeah.
will say. I think that's. I think the with the sport growing, that's going to start changing. Where
Yeah.
you'll find people who there's a lot of crossover fans right now, where there's the same who are OSU fans and crew fans. I think you're going to find more people who are OSU fans but don't follow soccer, or are crew fans and don't follow college football. As the sport grows, I don't think it's there yet, but I will say
Well, it
there
might be
are.
tough too with the schedule changes and all that too, like with moving
Yeah,
to the new format.
I will say there are some fan bases that I think, especially if say crazy thing happens and USL gets bought out by MLS. Um, I think you'll find a lot more USL fans that are okay with second division or first division because they're already there, versus a team that's always been in the first division, a team who's been in the first division for 30 years, and then they're like, hey,
Yeah.
you're dropping
Yeah.
now.
Like
And
in this year's sense, you just we just saw like I don't know Atlanta United and DC. Well, Atlanta and DC drop.
yeah,
That would be horrendous for those markets.
yeah.
Or even LA Galaxy, if they dropped this
That's
year,
true.
Hmm.
that would be a absolute disaster in
Well,
our
and
league right now.
I honestly I think that's a big reason that MLS won't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And not because it'll be disastrous for fan bases, but specifically if a fan base like an LA team or a New York team or Miami get relegated, that's less money for them,
yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
not gonna want that.
Yeah.
And
Because MLS still owns every single team.
yeah,
For those who don't know, um, we call them franchises, but MLS owns it all.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very interesting model, and I understand them using that model to keep the league afloat early on. Um,
Yeah.
but
Private
Yeah.
private ownership though would be interesting to play out though.
yeah.
I think I think the test team right now for the private ownership is what Miami's been doing, which has been interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've been given so much freedom, but
Um, I'm not gonna go really deep into the Miami thing, but there has been a lot of discourse on Twitter for the past week or so about Miami and the way that they're building their roster. Um,
It's been going on for longer than a week, Matt.
well,
How long have they existed?
I'm talking specifically about the signings they've made over the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Um,
100%. It's
and
crazy.
the fact that goalkeeper like St. Clair
I
took
called that too. I said that as a joke.
Claire,
Yeah.
Tristan
yeah,
Blackman left Vancouver.
yeah.
Um,
The Blackman thing might not happen, but we'll see.
I think it
Um,
did.
no, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
It's it it was rumored, and then Vancouver came out with a statement basically saying like this isn't happening, and
okay.
uh, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami keeps pushing or the league keeps pushing Vancouver to make it
Yeah.
happen. But it going with St. Clair, the fact that he was offered more money in Minnesota but still went to Miami kind of just speaks to the whole they have an advantage that no one else can match, which is
Everybody wants to play
having
with Messi.
well. And the thing is, like, and that's I understand that. I understand. like a player being like, "Hey, I want to go play with Messi because he's possibly the greatest player ever." But at the same time, the fact that Messi only got to this league because every team helped him get to there. Like the Columbus owners, the Seattle owners, everyone. They all are a part of Messi getting to Miami,
Yeah.
and then that's in turn hurting their own rosters. And it's not
Putting their own
it,
rosters, but they're pocketing more money through
but
it.
they're
They don't
pocketing more
care.
money. As nothing like it kills the competition, which is why the fans actually care at
Yeah.
all about any of it. And
Yeah.
and so I don't know. I'm not going to go on a huge rant. I
Yeah,
will
that's fine.
say
We
if
can.
you do want to hear a really good rant, listen to Crew Rhino's podcast episode about it because it's excellent. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have listened to it at all, but it is a great
I I did. I gave it a
19-minute
listen.
rant. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on here though. We gotta start wrapping up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to talk about the
Yeah, I mean, I'll
this
just
U.S.
mention it real quick. A couple Crew players got called into youth national team. Brent Abu Jamfi got a U20 call up. We also had an academy kid get a call up for like I think the U17s. Um, it's just cool to see. I think the Crew, I guess what they call it, the player pathway, whatever, is working really well. I mean, Owen Prestis, Tristan Brown, Chase Adams, all these guys are youth national team players, and I think it's going to continue. Prince 44 is another one coming through the academy. I wouldn't be surprised in 3 years he's a first team player. Um, but it's really cool to see an academy that's working the way it's supposed to, and having actually building professional players and giving them opportunities to play. Um, I want to say right now we have like 9 homegrown players in the first team roster, which is crazy. Um, yeah, but that's all I really need to say about it. There's nothing. I don't know if they are expected to get a lot of minutes, get more calls in the future, but I did want to mention that we have 2 guys who got youth national team calls recently.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, do we have anything else? I have one more thing I wanted to ask you guys.
I don't have anything.
All right, this is off the cuff, so
Ooh,
no
I
no
like it.
no preparation. Give me one big 2026 MLS hot take that you think is going to happen this year.
Ooh,
I think I'm gonna go on a big one. A new
Mhm.
team that's never won the MLS Cup is winning the MLS Cup this
All
year.
right, new MLS Cup winner. You don't have any names though.
Oh, if I were to give a name, I mean, I think Vancouver is still up there.
Yeah.
Um, Vancouver's still up there. Philadelphia still has not won one, right?
Yep. Philly has not won one.
Yep. I'm gonna go with one of those two teams. I feel confident for one of them.
The two teams that really don't spend a whole lot but still have great teams. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Brian.
I'm gonna do two, but I'm trying to think of a second one. My first one would be that I think that the Columbus Crew win U.S. Open Cup under Henrik Rydstrom in
All
his
right.
I
first
would
year.
I
love that.
like it.
I
I
would
like
love
it.
that.
I like it.
I think it'd be cool. I think that it's a tournament we will take seriously. I think he will, and I hope that's the case. Um, I will also say, man, off the cuff. Ugh, I don't want to say it though.
Go ahead.
I think that Cincy makes MLS Cup final this year. Whether or not they win it, I don't know, but they have been knocking on the door for a good while, and I think that depending on how their offseason looks, I think that they'll be an MLS Cup final this year.
Okay. I,
I
yeah.
like I understand this is a crew podcast. I hate
Yeah.
saying that. I'm just like I'm kind of shocked at this point, aside from the year that they played us and blew the lead, that they haven't gotten further than what they have, because they have been probably one of the most consistent teams in Major League Soccer over the last 3 to 4 years. And
Yeah.
it's like, um, yeah, I hate saying it. I absolutely hate saying it because I absolutely hate them.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later, and I feel like this is probably going to be the year that they get there. But I think that they'll lose to whoever's in the Western Conference.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say San Diego doesn't make the playoffs. I think San Diego's
Yeah,
gonna have a really bad second year.
yeah, they lost
Um,
some good people.
yeah, you see
You
Chucky
see that a
Lozano's
lot with
not joining.
expansion teams too.
Yeah,
They can
yeah,
have a unique first year because they're a unique team. Nobody knows their identity yet, and then the second year they kind of blow up. Of
yeah.
like they blow up in a bad way. They lose all traction. Teams
I mean,
figure them out pretty
that was St.
quickly.
Louis their second year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, since Brian gave two, I'll give a second one too. I think the Crew this year is gonna have one of the most unique like approaches to the game that we've ever seen in MLS. That's including Nancy.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to give a second one, I'm gonna give my shout. Colorado makes top 4 in the Western.
In the West? Okay. I thought that was
Yep.
gonna happen this
Hey
year and it
man,
didn't happen.
it's better. It's better than mine, Matt. You could just edit that out. I feel really like filthy, disgusting giving my
Yeah,
hot take.
I
Just cut
I
that
I didn't
out.
know how to respond to it because I was like, all right, man.
But like, but my thing is like, I as much as I hate them, I always since we're talking the league, like I want to be a realist as well. But have they not been one of the more consistent
They
teams?
have been.
You feel like over the last couple of years, and I just
They
feel
have been,
like
but they've also been very like you see this with multiple
it's
teams that can be
true.
good, but then also fall apart when in games that
That's
matter,
true.
and
I
that's
don't know, but
and
I just feel
Nate's
like
always talked about that about how they are small game merchants.
That whole
true.
club. Yeah.
I don't know. Just cut that whole part out. I feel so dirty saying that, but
You're good.
it's something where like I think that I look at it as uh like my Buffalo Bills. Like they're a great team consistently, but it's like they're just not getting there yet. And one of these times I think they're going to. And ugh, it's gonna suck when it does, but then they'll lose
um,
and it's not gonna matter.
I'll say this about Cincinnati. Um, a fan commented on our TikTok today saying that Cincinnati's going to smash us this year, and I pointed out to him, um, we've never lost by more than one goal to Cincinnati, uh, and we've beat Cincinnati by more than by two or more goals 7 times,
Yeah.
and I think that's going to continue. I and
Yeah.
I've said it plenty of times too. The What happens in the regular season has no bearing on Hell is Real.
No Baron. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a completely different. We can be top of the league, and Cincinnati could be bottom of the league, and it'll be a close match.
Yep.
Like it's just the beast that it is. Hell is Real is just always who knows what's going to happen.
It's something
Except for
Yep.
else.
except for we know if we lose, it's only going to be by one goal.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, so I don't know. You guys got anything else for this week?
I'm sorry, listeners, that you had to hear me give my hot take. I feel so bad about it. I really do. It's gonna eat me up until you post like a clip of that and people start tearing me apart. Like you're not a real fan. I'm like, dude, I'm just throwing it out there. Like I you asked me
Hey,
for like a hot take.
hot takes are hot
That's a
No,
hot
takes.
take.
yeah,
Hot take's
it's
a hot
actually
take.
always fun for me. Like I have a lot of friends from Cincinnati, so we're always discussing Cincy
Yeah.
versus Crew and just Cincy in general.
Yeah.
And you got I like putting the rivalry aside, you got to give props to the team of how they've grown in 6 years in
Yeah.
MLS or whatever.
Their ownership's
Hmm.
done really well for them.
Yeah,
So
they've
but anyways,
consistently grown.
let's not praise them too much.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Not
still
praise
getting
them too much.
smashed by 2 or more goals midway
Yeah.
through the season, home and away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways. Anybody got anything else?
I don't think so.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching our clips and all that other fun stuff that we do. We will be back soon. I don't know when the
Early
next
next
episode's
week.
gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully we'll have some. Hopefully we'll have some more news on how preseason stuff's going and training and moves and all that other stuff. But thank you for listening. Be sure to check us out on all the socials. If you guys want to join our Discord, please DM us and we will get you added into that. Yeah, but until then,
We're
go
also
Crew.
now on National Soccer Network. So
Oh, are we talking? We didn't really talk about that, or did we talk
yeah,
about that yet?
you can go ahead.
Okay, I meant to bring that up. So we are excited to announce that we have signed a year contract with the National Soccer Network. So now they're going to be in charge of our distribution for stuff, but we're going to be working with them. So you will now be able to check us out on the National Soccer Network website and also on their Roku app. Once we start getting our stuff sent over to them, you'll be able to listen to stuff, watch stuff. It's going to be really, really cool. We're going to have some cool sponsorship stuff coming up here this year as well.
Hmm.
So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be awesome. There's a lot going pretty quickly, and we're really, really excited about it. So,
Definitely.
yeah, look forward to all those things. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time. Go Crew.
Go Crew.
True.